Now that we've had a chance to look over how we actually create the shape of the hair, now let's go into the different attributes that control the hair themselves. So really, we've spent a lot of time getting the actual shape of this organized and created. So let me open up the render window here. Here's what we got so far, and you can see there's a little bit of green and funkiness happening here, and there's not enough hair to be nice and full, but we got the shape in this faux hawk that we like. So what can we do with this? Well, once we select the hair itself, we can actually go into the attribute editor and take a look at the shave hair shape node. Now this is where a lot of the properties are stored, well, all of the properties are stored to control what this hair looks like. Now we've got 6 areas that we're going to talk about, and we got individual lessons for each of these, and some of them will actually be broken up into a number of lessons because they're pretty deep. The first one we'll talk about are general properties. This is essentially what the hair shape is like, how thick it is, thin it is, does it have any kinkiness to it, how many hairs, things like that. Then we'll go into the material properties. This is essentially the color, how shiny it is, how if you want it to look wet, how that's going to work. Then we're going to move into the displacement features, which are these kink properties right here. I'm sorry, the frizz and these kink properties. Okay, so how the actual hair is displaced. Then we'll go into multi-strand properties, which is a very nice and very robust way of creating lots of hair. This gives us the ability to create multiple hair strands around each one of our hairs, which is really cool. Then we'll go into the dynamics properties, which, as you can see, pretty simple, but very robust. You'll see that a lot of things can happen with the dynamics properties. Then we'll slowly get into some of these other attributes. And we have a whole rendering kit dedicated to shave and haircut rendering techniques, where we'll be working with RenderMan to use the shave and hair to generate rib files, as well as specific attributes for NURBS tessellation. And then we can get into the display of the hair itself, how we want the hairs to display in our preview. So very quickly, let's see how this works. If we want to change, let me just maximize this. If we want to change the color of our hair, we would just go into the material properties, and we'll work with the tips themselves. We'll pick a tip color here, give my color picker a chance to show up. And as you can see, as I change the colors, they're updating live in my scene. So you've got an ability to really get some great feedback right from the system without even having to do a whole bunch of work as far as rendering and previewing and things like that. Obviously, the most accurate preview is going to be the final render. So that in a nutshell is the breakdown of what we're going to be talking about next. It's just kind of not really a full lesson, but just an overview lesson of what we're going to be talking about. So the first things that we're going to be actually diving into are the material properties.